What's up guys, Nightingale here, and welcome to another Beginner's Handbook video. Today we're talking about Molagora management. Now, this is going to be a short video because there's not really a lot to talk about, but I'm going to tell you about how to maximize your Molagoras because as new players, well, they're actually readily available for new players, but as you start getting in, you start building your units, the next thing you know, that resource dries up, so you need to know how to manage and how to invest into your units. So, let's talk about where you get them first, and then we'll talk about how you spend them. Well, once you finish going through most of the game, you're only going to be able to get 5 a week. Alright, so let's talk about those 5 a week, and then I'll tell you about where the rest of them are. So your 5 a week are going to come from 1, which is your check-in reward. Now, it doesn't matter where you're at in your check-in, you are guaranteed 1 a week from your reward here. Really great that they did this. This used to be every other one, now it's every week, so you're at least getting a Molagora weekly here. This may not seem like a lot, but this was actually a decent enough change to where you're gaining 4 a month from here, which adds up. Now, let's go talk about the rest. The next one, and one of the easier ones to get, is the guild one. The guild one's available in the members shop. You get it right here. As you can see, mine's available in 4 days. They cost 250 Brave Crests, which should not take you anything to earn these. These are super, super easy to get. This is a must-buy, instantaneous. As soon as server resets, bang, buy it. It's over and done with. Doesn't take armbands, thankfully, because that would be really, really troll. Honestly, they could add one for armbands at this point, and I'd be okay with it. I'd still buy it. So, there's 1 out of Guild Wars. So we're up to 2 now, weekly. Now, where's the rest? Over in the shop. Now, this can get more expensive depending on where you are in the game. Number 3 and number 4 are sitting right here for Silver Transmit Stones. Silver Transmit Stones you obviously get from breaking down 3-star units or any unit in general. I happen to be getting a lot of Guider Aether, so he's being sacrificed to the Silver Transmits. It's a great place to get it. So you get these weekly, so every week you need to be earning at least 30 Silver Transmit Stones, which is pretty easy to do. Considering within a few weeks, doing some pulls, doing things like that, you'll be triple S-ing your units, and once you've had all your 3 stars triple S'd, you can start triple S-ing those next set, and sometimes you'll get several in a row, go to, triple S, and you'll be able to blow those up and all that. So these are pretty easy to get a hold of. Also, just going to say it here again, if you happen to get Guider Aether, there is no point in building him. Just sacrifice your Aethers into Guider Aether, and there's a free 70 Transmit Stones for the cost of a 3-star, plus that random 4-star that does nothing. Now, the last one is in the Conquest shop. Right here for 150 Conquest points, pretty easy again, very easy to get a hold of Molagora. So that's a total of 5 weekly. Now, you can probably get more out of the game. So, let's talk about those. The big place to get it is obviously going to be quest rewards. Side quests typically have one in the shop. Now they have a Molagora stage where you'll get 1 out of there. That's every side story, so do your side stories, complete the story, and then you'll be able to go grab the Molagora stage and the Goblin stage. If you know there's a buff coming around, again, save the Goblin stage for the extra gold when you have if there's a buff. If there's no buff going to be available, just burn it. It's fine. You're talking the difference of 150,000 to 200,000 gold. Not a big difference. But if you know you're going to have a AP buff or a gold increase buff, it's perfect for it. It works great. Now, here's one that I'm still working on, but I can say this. Unrecorded History, we did it all, because we've unlocked our Arbiter Vildreds, which everybody should be doing. Now, why is this important? Because every stage has a Molagora seed. A lot of Molagoras can come out of this, doing this. So go through 3-star all of your Unrecorded History. And with this, you also want to just do note that if you're not paying attention, just so I'll show you here, episode 1 does not have Molagoras. It's got Sky Stones. So, you're doing that one for another reason. You're doing Unrecorded History, episode 2 and episode 3, all for the Molagora seeds. And that's where I'm at. I'm working on episode 3. When I get the time, get done, probably when I'm not on a rushed AP event, I will come through and I will 3-star absolutely everything. Now, obviously, you're seeing down there, I have a lot of 3 stars. I don't think I finished. It's been a minute since I've been in here. I last remember working on this, but we're gonna check real quick. Oh no, I did do it. Okay, never mind. I am done. Sad. No more Molagoras. So never mind. I've done that. For some reason I had in the back of my mind I still needed to do this. I should have just checked my sheet. Oh, I know what it was. It was the Breath of Orbis. That's what I needed to get out of episode 2 next buff. So yeah, I've gotten all the Molagoras I can get out of there. Now, there's another source of Molagoras. And this one I get asked all the time. Hey Knight, what do I do with these? Well, I'm here to tell you. I'm going to explain how to use your Molagora Goes. They were, let's see here. I think there was some around in here. There was the powder. That was all nice reward. There's more powder, more mystic metals. There we go. So like floor 85 for me, I can see has the Molagora Goes. They are 5 red Molagoras. What do you do with them? You convert them and they become Molagoras. They have no other purpose in the game anymore. So there you go. I think that's 20 Molagoras at the drop of a hat right there. They also have just straight Molagora rewards in here, so if you're not doing your Abyss and you haven't got to it, there are definitely just straight point-blank Molagora rewards in here. There's more Molagora Goes. I think it's down here where I'm at, actually, the straight Molagoras. Yeah, 20 just outright Molagoras down here at 105. So we're going to work towards this, get that, because that's going to be a huge help for me. I just gonna wait for next unequipped buff to go start that grind. So you can get a bunch of Molagoras out of your Abyss. Now keep in mind, getting through some of this crap is gonna be annoying for depending on where you're at in the game, but this really shouldn't be like the make or break of your build. Don't worry about it. If you can get to it, you can get to it. If not, they're just there. So just know that in the back of your mind. Now, where else can you get them? You don't want to forget about your web events. Now, this is one that can slip by some people because they just don't check their banners. And I'm going to say this again, if you haven't been doing this, you need to come in here every day and get your energy. Claim your energy. Now, why is that important that you're claiming the energy? Because then you got to come down and do the said event. By doing the event, you gain a currency that you cannot actually touch, which you get to unlock this stuff. So once you've used the rusty keys, you get to unlock something. So as you can see here, we have the free unequipped buff right here. I'm going to be claiming this in a few hours so that I can min-max the amount of time that I have on that, just because I don't know when an unequipped buff is going to be needed, and in case of emergencies, that gives me 7 days from the second I claim it. But you can see right here, 2 free Molagoras. You just need to claim the 25 and 45 reward, and there you go. There's extra Molagoras every web event. But what if they don't have a web event? When have they not had a web event? Since I've been playing, there's been a web event up. Now, obviously, there's some other things. There's going to be special event check-ins, and I think they're even in the epic passes when they have those. And they're even in expeditions. So every expedition has a set of Molagoras right there. So all you have to do is get to 1,000, which is pretty easy to do. In a month, you can get 3 Molagoras right out of your expeditions. They reset. The shop resets in another month if you haven't finished claiming stuff, but it will reset immediately on the 1st if you've cleared it out. It's only for unclaimed rewards. It doesn't mean you can keep earning in it. It's just unclaimed rewards can be claimed for the next 31 days. So expeditions reset, I believe, tomorrow. As of making this video, they'll be resetting on that. So expeditions, another 3 Molagoras. There you go. Now, that's how we get them. Now, how to manage them. Now, for most players, here's the thing. New players, since this is the beginner's handbook, here's what you're listening for. You need to be working on your Wyvern team. Sigrid is a plus 15 character. No questions asked. If you have not done it, and it's just Catalyst. Get on your Catalyst grind, get on Sigrid. This needs to be done immediately. Plus 15 her. And if you don't want to do it in that specific order, do it like this. You need the S3 first. Then do her S1, then worry about her S2. Now, the reason why I say that is because big damage, most of your damage, occasional damage. Think about it like that. But if you can, go through and at least Get her cooldowns, get her going, get her rolling. This is a very, very good character. Some of you will argue, well, I don't want to spend Molagoras on Clarissa. It's worth it. You're talking a long-term investment. And I mean long-term investment. I am still right now trying to crunch the numbers on how in the heck can I get a Wyvern one-shot working. I can't. I am literally locked in behind an artifact of making me be able to do it right now. So, Clarissa, +3. You just need the skill cooldown. Sure, you can crank out the extra damage if you want to really make her a damage dealer. Most of you probably in the beginning don't have the gear to do this, so just worry about getting the skill cooldown. It's more important to get the cooldown off and get the defense break than it is to do damage. You don't need to do her passive. Do not need to do her passive to get her functioning in Wyvern 13. And all you need to do is get her to the point where she does the highest defense break chance on her S1, because you're wanting her bleed exclusive equipment, because as many times as she attacks, you want that to go off and pop and get the extra bleeds. That's why she's there. You just achieve the bare minimum of getting the stats to where you get her effectiveness and get her in there, get her doing her job, and that's all she's there for to do. For me, in my team, she's just there for the debuffs. Now, some of you are looking at Angelica, which is been burned. I don't have her in my thing. I forgot I made Sinful Angelica. Anyway, Sinful Angelica, you just want to worry about her skill 2 and her skill 3. Skill 3 is more important than skill 2. Work on that. Now, some of you use Furious, and I've stressed this in many videos, so I'll say it again. With Furious, you have to stop short until he's Friendship 10. It is a waste of Molas to do this. I did it. I didn't care. I care now. Those 3 Molas could have gone a long way. You must, absolutely must, skill 1, do the +1 on his skill 2. This has to work to make him work properly. What you can hold out on, and this is what I say in all my videos that we talk about Furious, is hold out on the +6 here until he is Friendship 10. And at that point, it saves you 3 Molagoras, and you get the 100% death break. Take the dice. It's way worth it, especially if you're going to be using Furious for the long run. Me, I got out of it, so now it really irks me that I don't use Furious, and I can't get the Molas out of him. So, and I'm never +15ing this unit. Unless he gets a serious buff, I would never +15 this unit, ever. So, for those of you who happen to be using General Purgus, the same thing goes here. The only thing a Wyvern General Purgus needs to have Molad is the passive. Get it to where it increases the combat readiness. That's all you need to do. This isn't a Wyvern GP anymore. This is a PvP General Purgus, so do keep that in mind. But get his passive maxed out. You don't need to do anything else. I did it because I was using him in PvP and PvE. So I went ahead and got the stun chance up, and I got the cooldown just to make sense. And then when I Friendship 10 him, was what I really finished off, where I got the 15% chance, and I got this. So don't think I went out of my way. This was just post 15 is where I added it up. I did the skill cooldown and his passive, and then I walked away. So don't waste this on a Wyvern General Purgus. Just get his passive, and he will work just fine. So for anybody else who's using other random units, Clarissa, things like that, you have to use your head, read their skills, think about, okay, do you need the maximum effect chance? Is this skill the big damage skill? Is this what I'm relying on to kill the Wyvern, or whatever content? That's what you're looking for. Okay, you take your Wyvern team. Now what else do you need? The next big thing comes down to, back again, here we go to the debate of Arby versus Stenny. If it's Arbiter Vildred, he's arguably your next +15 unit because he's going to be carrying you through everything. Yes, you need to +15 him. I've had people argue with, why do I need the passive? You want him to come back up to full health because he's already built squishy, so you do need the extra health to keep him alive, because you can keep him alive for 5 full turns. There's been many times in many scenarios where he's died, gone through the times to get the passive to tick again, the 5 turns, and then been able to die and res again. Or I've been able to revive him using a reviver and get this passive to trip again in a few turns. So, it's definitely worth getting him back to 100% health. But if you're going to do it in the terms of efficiency, his S3 to his S1. S3, S1. And then you work on the passive. If you've got to be cheap on the Molas, it's the passive. But he is a +15 unit. Same thing goes for Spectre Tenebria. For those of you who did pick her, I'm sorry. Not really. She's a great unit. But in this case, you definitely want to get the skill cooldown, and you definitely want to get the effect chance here, but then the big key is you do want to fully max out the passive, because this is partially what makes Spectini so good. So for those of you, she's another plus 15 unit. Guess what? When you plus 15 them early on, and before you hit Friendship 10, you're going to get 3 Molagoras back. So do keep that in mind, that if you 15 a unit before their Friendship 10, you will get the Molagoras back. If you do not plus 15 them before you max them out, you will get 3 skill points. And I think I have one available. I think Dizzy is one of those units that has not had her skills spent. Yes. So you can see right there, I have the 3 skill points, and I could go spend it on her. She's a unit that I may end up maxing this out, because I now have her built and working on her. Yeah, you can see them right here. So you'll have those skill points. You can spend it. As you can see, she's clearly not plus 15. She's plus 6. So when I Friendship 10'd her, we got the skill points versus the Molagoras. If she was 15, I'd have got 3 Molagoras refunded. So, and here you go. Another good one for you is my Luna. You can clearly see is plus 15, but she is only Friendship 5. I will get the 3 Molagoras back. So, once you get into that, and you've taken care of your Wyvern team, and you've taken care of your Moonlight connection, now here's where the last little bit of advice goes. For all of you, it really comes down to where are you struggling, where are you wanting to progress, and where you wanted to go. Some of you are wanting to get to Master 5 in PvP, so then you're going to start spending some Molagoras on some PvP units that are valuable to get you to Master 5. Most of you could potentially use your Wyvern team and get you probably there with Arbiter Vildred. Some of you may not, because of how they're built. Well, you'll start wanting to look at that. If you're wanting to get into, Guild Wars, you want to go to Guild Wars units. So more Guild War oriented PvP units. Not something that would necessarily work here, but it would work over here. Great. And then there's the fact that you felt like you focused in on these Wyvern units, you're not really attached to it, and you have your favorite unit that just happens to be dropping tomorrow. You know, your absolute most favorite unit that always happens to come up and everybody's always telling you to use. You plus 15 them. That's what you do. So that's the quick version of how to work about how to work around with, you know, Molagora management. The way I keep a track of it is I created a spreadsheet and I track it. I can bring it up here. Let's see here. I will take a screenshot and I'll put it right here, so you'll see it now. This is just the basic of how I'm tracking stuff. It gives me the idea of roughly how many I'm in debt to need, and it shows me where my, you know, resources are going. Now, it's pretty easy to figure out. You get 5 a week, times that times 4, there's your month, times that times 12, that's how many you get a year. But in this case, we know we're getting more because we got events and other things like that, so therefore, you can kind of start planning around, okay, I need to start working on these units. I'm planning on this. I need to minimum spend this. I need a maximum spend of this. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If not, hit me up in the comments below. I'll be happy to try to help you out. And I'll see you guys in the next one.